So what I'm trying to say is management is half of your success. You can have the best genetics in the world if you do not manage them properly, then you've got a problem.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Just an observation.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm seeing like there is a big number of males than the females.
She says that there's a bigger number of males than females. Do you know what the numbers are? Exact numbers?
Yes. Goats or sheep?
The goats. Yeah.
The goats, they are 4. The big ones.
Yeah, but the smaller ones.
But
The smaller ones, they are 11.
But the adult females, I'm seeing like there are many for the number of those we have.
You know what? You might be right. What you're after is what we've just said, and what William said. He said that he has like 60% males and 40% females. And somebody else said you even have like 70% males and 30% females. You might be right, but the other reason, look, there's a lot of does here right in front. The males are so active that you keep on seeing them because they are already started to be sexually active.
Testosterone.
And that is the point, you know, and that is why you might be wrong with the numbers, we don't know. But it seems on the first impression is there is a lot more males than females, you're right.
I have a question. During the grazing, is it okay to mix the cows and the goats and the sheep?
Yeah, look, you will also see, you know, if you have it like this, there's normally, especially when you don't have very big land, you will see that they even want to take the mother already. The competition, the cattle, as you can see, they will eat the longer grass. The sheep will eat the grass when they're shorter. And the goats will mostly go into the trees because they are browsers, while the sheep and the cattle are more grazers. So that is okay, you know. It's not a problem. I would rather keep them together than keeping the males with the females.
This one we mix them, that's why we don't mix with the other with the bigger cows. The other cows, they are somewhere else. They are not here. This one we don't mix them.
Can I just point out another thing? Can you see the blue tag there on the ear of this sheep? The blue tag? This is a similar tag to the stud tag to boer goats. Similar tag to stud tags in boer goats. That tag. So when they sell a boer goat to you as a stud goat, a boer goat as a stud goat, and they come into this country, they should either be a potential stud when they're younger than 10 months of age, a potential stud, and that should be on your record that you should get from the breeder, or they should carry the blue tag. That is an indication that they're already stud registered. We have spoken about a stud in a stud book, so that is just, you know, an indication. I've just spoken to somebody and they said, what proof do you have that they are stud registered? It's easy for me to tell you, I'm going to send you a stud buck. And when the bike arrives, I can tell you, Justice, this is a stud buck. Hello. You know? I mean, if I tell you, are you a man or a woman, you've something to show. You understand? To prove what you say. You understand what I mean? You've got something to prove. How can you prove this is a stud buck if you don't have the records and the numbers and the tags? So there's something. You need to have something to prove. Yeah. Guys,
Is
concept here in Kenya is topper, right? Now we want to know if the meat, like we were talking, now we are practically on the ground. Just for the information for everybody, if you introduce Meatmaster on that topper, what happens? Will you do meat or Persian sheep, or maybe Somer or?
now if I have to cross the doppers, I'll cross them with nothing else but the Meatmaster. With nothing else but the Meatmaster. We, as I said, we want to move away from this wool in your conditions. You don't want to share. You don't get an income out of the wool. With the Meatmaster, you're going to get to a smooth pelt like that. So that's to start off with.
In terms of body weight and this thing, will it be the same?
The Meatmasters will be a bit more tall on their legs. because they are tall. And again, we can go back to the Damara. They are taller and more
And here they
flat-sided.
said the supper meat does not smell. So will there be a smell in it? I'm asking on behalf of everybody. Because
The short answer is no.
Mr. Jamin,
There is just one condition. There's just one condition. Don't slaughter the rams when they are already covering. Slaughter them long before they should start covering. Slaughter them. We, for ourselves, we slaughter them. I like a bigger carcass, and I like more sort of texture in the meat. So we slaughter them just before they cut their first 2 teeth. They're about 10 months to a year old when we slaughter them. At 14 months, they cut their first 2 teeth. So we slaughter them late. I like a late lamb because it's already sort of almost 2 teeth, which 2 teeth is still very good meat, but you don't want them to be old. And when you slaughter an animal in any breed, when they've already been sexual active, and especially the males, then you've got problems. They will not be that tender anymore in any breed. So if you slaughter them when they're young. And this is why the Arabs, the people from the Middle East, they demand young animals that grew fast. They want them to grow fast and have a tender meat. I've been in Saudi Arabia in a desert with Sheikh, Prince Turki. He was the Minister of Defense. Prince Turki.
What is the ideal age and weight for slaughtering the doe?
Okay, I'll come to that now. But what they've done, Prince Turki, they've prepared all the meat and everything on the sand. I couldn't believe it. But they ate it, like from the carcass, there was like several carcasses. You could do this. That you could really take out the meat from the so soft, yes. It was tender, you couldn't believe it. It was like, it melted in your mouth. And then I could understand that they want their carcasses at less than 10 kgs if they can, 8 to 11 kgs type of small carcasses. That will give you an animal that is like 20, 22 kgs maximum. Small lambs. It's not always financially viable for you to slaughter lambs at that age. But if they pay you a premium, if they pay you double the price, then it becomes business. And they are prepared to pay double the price to have the small carcasses. But again, when you take the small carcasses, you wean the animals much earlier. We wean them when they're 2 months old, as I said. And then you can have a third harvest of lambs in 2 years. Then you have three harvests instead of 2. Then the meat that you produce is actually more than you.
I'm into exports of goats to Middle East. The Middle East guys love that goat which come from northeastern and this. If you cut them from 7 kilos to 11 kilos, nothing to do with this. But the sheep, they can even take 30 kilos or 40 kilos, the sheep.
They will take bigger carcasses of the sheep, you're right.
Yeah, sheep they want in Bahrain.
But never go there. Don't listen to the 30 kilos. Don't listen to this. Because the problem is, the moment that they shoot their first 2 teeth, which is 14 months of age, then it is a completely different ballgame. Then you do not slaughter a lamb anymore. Then they see it as an adult sheep. It's then sheep, not lamb. So when you don't even go further than 20 kgs, 20 slaughter.
And how many months is that? 20 is around how many months?
It depends again on how you fed them. I can promise you today that you can do a 20 kilogram lamb easily by 6 months of age, but then you should feed them. And the Arabs, they prefer that you slaughter them before they're 6 months of age. So it's easy to say, yes, they will accept 30 kgs, but they pay. So if they get to a point where they are now 30 kgs, but it's 2 teeth, they're not stupid. They can easily see when they open the mouth that this is not a lamb anymore. And they will not be tender anymore. So slaughter them when they're 6 months old, but feed them well, that you can slaughter, that you can have a carcass of 18 kilograms Sort of, that is the norm that we use. 18 kilograms on 6 months of age. But they should be well fed. And again, and I have to stop now. You can't expect animals to free range like this, bring them in the pen tonight, let them stand in a paddock for 15 hours without food and to perform. They can't. I mean, if any of us, if you have to stay day in and day out for 15 hours without food and only 9 hours you can feed.
That is what is happening here, Mr. Gerrie. After giving them food, put in the paddock, no supplement, no looser, nothing is given. I hope you are learning. After that, even if you put hay in the thing or this thing, they have to give even food and water when they are locked.
Guys, I've told you this before. Even with all the experience in the world that I have, I've made a mistake a couple of years ago. A couple of years, and I paid for it. Because I thought, you know, vegetation is so fantastic. We had lovely range, rolled them in, and I thought that, you know, they're actually too fat. Let me just sort of scale them down a bit. And I waited too long. I waited 2 weeks too long, and I've paid for it. There was 1 or 2 abortions even because of the drop in condition, especially with goats. And then I had a poor conception because again the goats, the condition wasn't good enough, and I had to flush them, which I did, and they've picked up weight fast. But they were you can't start with a goat when it's like 2.5 out of 5. They should at least be 3. So they were not in a good enough condition when I started, and I've paid for it. Any more questions, guys? Where is our host?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
What is the best back to female ratio?
What is the best?
Yes.
Right. It depends on your conditions, your size of your pens. In the pens also on the feeding. But if you have small, if you're in an intensive, the question was, what is the ratio between males and females? The question is, or the answer is, if you are in a normal conditions where they can easily look, if they free roam, this is not good enough. But when you are in a small environment where they can easily find the does, goats can do up to 35 does per male, 35. But then the conditions should be according to your, you know, as I said, should be intensively. We had a buck that he did 50 does, 51 to be exact, in a period of 6 weeks. He did 51. They can easily do it. In the sheep, I would say 25 to 1. 25 to 1. Yeah. Any more questions, guys? From my side, I would then just, you know, like to thank you all. It was really, example myself, we spoke about it last night. It was really for us very special. The way that you guys ask the questions and the vibe, you know, and I don't know if you've learned anything, but I've given you what I had, and I hope that, you know, you guys will be successful.